Hi Nikita, hi Diya. Thank you so much for sparing your time. And we are connecting after a long time. Thank you for spending time for Bhat Pandit. Thank you for spending time for me. Right? Uh, Two brilliant students at IIM-K. Really, first thing that I have to say is really proud of the fact that you two are there. I'm really proud of the fact that three of my students are in the same class, same batch. So that is like sort of an achievement of sorts. So I think we are doing a different format today. Two people in the same batch in the same college. So we'll have them on board in the same interview. Great to have you guys here. The first thing we start off with is how has your experience been so far? Close to an year now, right? Or just about an year or half an year that you've
Oh,
spent
months
at.
ago.
Yeah. So how has the experience been? How has the journey been at IMK? Uh, your your take on it.
So thank you, sir, for calling us after so long. It's really nice to interact with you again. So I'll go first. So starting May, sir, this year they came up with this immersion program,
Mm,
first time launched for our batch, and it's like a 4 to 5 day immersion program where you're just introduced to the entire curriculum in general, what the campus has to offer, a lot of fun activities, team building activities,
mm,
where you get to do group assignments, and just it just exposes you the basic pedagogy that this institute offers. It was a very fulfilling experience. उसके बाद सर हमारा ओरिएंटेशन था. इट वेंट ऑन फॉर लाइक अबाउट अ वीक. अगेन अ वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस. सारे सब्जेक्ट्स क्या वुड व्हाट वी वुड बी टीचिंग,
mm,
व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ सेशंस वी वुड बी हैविंग, क्या ओवरऑल प्लान रहेगा.
mm,
इट कवर्ड ऑल ऑफ दैट.
mm,
Then it was हमारे terms begin हुए. So I'll be really honest, term one was very hectic because obviously at K we have our internships at around like summer internships के जो interviews होते हैं, we have it around September.
mm,
So we need to get done with our CVs. We also need to prepare for our interviews. We need to get done with our term one examinations. उसके ऊपर projects भी होते हैं, submissions भी होते हैं. So we pulled off late night hours. Term one was very hectic for all of us. And I mean, exciting bhi tha काफी. Did like managed to learn a lot interesting subjects. So I come from a finance background, तो मेरे लिए तो different subjects भी थे, considering marketing, organization behavior, to name a few. So there were like really good learning insights from there. Plus
बीइंग अ सीए मतलब तेरे को कितना वैल्यू ऐड लगता है बीइंग अ सीए यू done your chartered accountancy and now you heading into management, right? So
hmm.
what kind of value addition do you see?
Sir, I mean, CMA is heavily focused on finance related topics, and arguably, I mean, even in the first two terms over here, there are like 2, 3 subjects which focus on finance
Mm,
because we have a diverse cohort over here. Over
mm,
here, so engineers also need to be exposed to those subjects.
mm,
But again, apart from that, we also have other subjects like organization behavior or
mm,
marketing.
mm,
जो मैंने I have never been exposed to those subjects
mm,
before.
mm,
So I
mm,
mean, there were instances, even we had this one professor, especially for organization behavior in term one. So the kind of instruments that he used to actually,
mm,
make you understand the application of those technique or the application of those
mm,
topics, they were quite interesting. I mean, वैसा teaching method मैंने like मेरे previous experiences में I've never been I mean exposed to such techniques. So it was really insightful. And what MBA teaches is so far मतलब term one, considering मेरा जो भी background है, still you get to like learn with a lot of diverse people, like, and we have group project assignments over here. So for each subject, it is not necessary that you'll have the same group. It is
mm,
designed in such a way that most, I mean, more or less like they make different groups, so you get to work with a different set of people each and every time.
mm,
So what you essentially do over here is like you debate, you discuss, you brainstorm, and then you come up with something finally. And that is something you get to apply in your real world scenario as well. So MBA exposes you to that. So
mm,
I mean this real life application and this classroom setup, and alongside all these unique techniques of teaching, I don't think so that my previous courses had to offer. So this was something that I would truly take out as my takeaway.
mm.
Yeah.
Nikita, tera?
I completely agree with Dia that the teaching pedagogy has been very different. So there are a few subjects that I studied in my undergraduation, but the way we studied it here was very different. So in UG, we used to remember all the formulas, we used
Mm,
to apply them, do calculations. The maximum facility we had was a calculator, not even a
Mm,
scientific calculator, a normal
mm,
calculator.
mm,
But here we're allowed to use Excel. So
mm.
that is very relatable when we come to the real life application, because in office you're not going to actually, remember those formulas. You don't have to remember it, or you don't have to do
बिल्कुल
those calculations
बिल्कुल.
by hand. So
Mm,
that is something that is very good here, that you have Excel here, and you actually learn the application of it. You don't have to go through the whole derivation of it and all
mm,
of that. It is very focused on how you would be using these things as a manager. So that is
mm,
a very good thing. So they're actually training you to be managers. And another thing that I feel that MBA has trained us is in giving exams. So in term one, we were like, within 1.5 months, we have our midterms. Then another 1.5 months, we have our end terms, and we have our quizzes going on. We entered college, and we were supposed to have this ice breaking party with the seniors,
mm,
and we had a quiz the next day, and everybody went haywire that how can we have a party today when we have a quiz tomorrow. And our seniors were like, why are you worrying about it?
mm,
But we didn't realize it back then, and now we just go into the quizzes without probably even studying, because you know how the pattern is, what you need to focus on. If you listen
mm.
in class, that's more than enough for a quiz.
I think
So
that's more than anything else. It's almost like that's manufactured pressure. The way I see B schools
yeah,
operating is that
yeah,
they manufacture pressure for you. So they just want
right,
to give you, because once you're out in the open in the real world, these are all mock exercises. At
right,
the
right,
end of the day, these are like, so once you're out in the real world, you're not going to have time. You will have
right.
to do everything side by side. So it's like this creating a lot of pressure on you guys for doing. I think as you get 6 months, 8 months down the line, you kind of get used to it. Also, the pressure must
Yeah.
be off after PPOs. You've got two brilliant PPOs, both of you. So congratulations for that, right? The pressure is off post that, or अभी भी वैसे ही चल रहा है academic rigor. He kind
So
of eases out.
it was the summer internship placement, so
Hmm.
it has eased out
Oh,
to
sorry,
some
summer
extent for
internships.
us.
Yeah.
Once we are done with our internships, I think then the pressure will start building up again for the final placements. But for now, we are in pretty good position with respect to where we are placed.
Okay. Anything interesting about IIM-K? अभी तक तो हमने बहुत serious academic बातें करी हैं. ठीक है. Anything interesting about IIM-K? Why should people look up to this institute? कुछ interesting चीजें कोझिकोड के बारे में?
I think the campus life is really great.
Hmm.
I mean, you have a lot of facilities over here. So I never played squash in my life ever.
Yeah.
I did not even know the sport.
Hmm.
After coming here, I know it. I play it. I've
Hmm.
learned it.
Hmm.
So the institute gives you a lot of opportunities to try various sports. Swimming, you go for
Yeah, I
swimming.
can go
Yeah.
swimming in January. I think people in North can't even imagine
Yeah,
us
this year
swimming.
the winter has been terrible. It's
Yeah,
one of the worst winters ever this year. So it's been so bad.
freezing cold.
And so and those are like good perks. And what do you do to chill? Anything in Kozhikode? I'm sure it must be a very, very happening town.
I think, except Kozhikode, everything around it is happening. So we go
Okay.
out pretty much every weekend. The moment we get an opportunity, we all rush to some place. It's like half the campus is outside the college only.
Uh,
We go to trips to Munnar, Varkla, Ooty.
I think we are blessed that we are in Kerala, because Kerala has a lot of places to
Yeah.
offer from a tourism perspective. So we do make the most out of our long weekends.
Yeah, I think more than the city, it's like the places you've got around you. Those are like the cherry
Very
on the top, right? You can, yeah. So you'll be like, my wife's from Kerala, so she's North Indian who lived there. So she keeps telling me, nudging me to go there. Keep avoiding, but I think it's a place worth visiting.
Absolutely, very beautiful. So.
Yeah.
And the campus is also great. I mean, it has got great places to chill. Like we have like specific locations, amphitheater, Arjuna Path, MDC, Rasa. Like there are a lot of places. So it's
I think it's one of the prettiest campuses across. Very,
that's
very. You guys have a great campus for sure.
Beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrises, rainbows. We've seen
Will-
a whole rainbow.
अभी तो वो लोग डालते होंगे फिर सारा दिन इंस्टा पे, जो इंस्टा वाले हैं वो सारे वो रील ही बना के डालते रहते होंगे, है ना? So
Lots of upcoming influencers from here.
सही है, बढ़िया है. Great guys. So one more, I'll now come to the bit where we talk about us, right? So I use you guys to promote our courses. So that is the deep, twisted purpose for having this interview. So you've had your experiences with me with the Word Pandit courses. So what would you like to share about those? Just like 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute each. Dia, you did the GDPI essay course. Nikita, you did both the verbal and the SAPI course. So, what is your take on it? Just like quick, short, because I think a lot of people would just want short takeaways from this and not really lengthy explanations. So, have a shoot, guys.
Yeah, so I got to know about you, sir, from a friend of mine who did his MBA from IIM Bangalore. He was your student, and I took your GDPI course. I definitely, so if I want to, I myself pitch you to my friends if they come to me that where should we get a GDPI prep, and what I essentially say this is that what differentiates you from others is that you give that personalized touch. So the undivided attention that you give to any particular student. So in my example as well, like you were willing to schedule as many interviews as possible. I mean, help me work on my issues. And I remember like each in the next interview that we did, we all also like always made it a point to discuss what were the improvements that I've made, what were the issues that I made in the past interview, and how I fared them well in the current interviews. And most importantly, you did share all those news articles and current affairs and really nice documents and articles related to that. And not to forget the VAT preparation as well. So you did help us with a lot of it. But definitely the personalized touch that we get from you, undivided attention, and so what I can say is that the course was so good that even today, if we were to like being interviewed by someone, and if it comes to, especially when it comes to HR questions, we know how to handle it because you've trained us enough to, I mean, know what not to say and what to say in what particular scenario. So I think that's the biggest takeaway that I would, I mean, take from what Pandit, because it's not just about your journey till the time you get into the B school. It's also about the long term learning that you have get from this course, which I just said. I mean, that's
Uh,
the kind of method of teaching that you adopt. So yeah.
Yeah, that's actually great to know, right? That it's adding value still. So that's like that makes me really happy that it should be worth once you've invested time in someone. It's more than anything else. It's the fact that uh, the one thing that I realize is that with a lot of students, and this is especially after the second course, like I see the prep divided in two courses.
Yeah.
So I see the course divided in two parts, right? There's the verbal part and the SAPI part. And verbal is great. We do it all through the year, right? And for the SAPI part, is the last 2-3 months that you really connect. So I've always found that if I make the connections are far deeper with the students who've prepared for GDPI with me. Right? Because if we had so many interactions, I end up having talking so many times with people. Right? So I kind of connected for a very, very long time. In fact, most people the connections continue, right? We keep talking. Everyone's busy, so that's a given, right? Once you've made it to these institutes, you are going to be busy. But then we keep connecting every now and then. It's always nice to hear that people are doing well in their lives. That's the kind of gives you satisfaction that chalo acha kaam kiya tha, that was good, right? Nikita, your take?
Uh, I'll start with the VRC course. So I believe the RC marathons were the biggest contribution, and that was something very different. I don't think anybody else do that, and that kind of gets you in the pattern of doing it in exam one after the other. Even if one RC goes bad, how do you attempt the next RC? So that is the, I think, biggest take from that course. And I always say that I think you put in more efforts into our preparation than we ourselves do. Even in the GDPI preparation, I felt that there were times when I was lagging. I got caught up with my office, but you always kept pushing me. That don't just because you have a long gap between two interviews, don't drop here. So that is one thing that I feel nobody else would be able to do it, because it's very difficult to keep track of students when we ourselves are not doing it. So you've been always doing that, and I think the preparation that was done for the GDPI helped me with my SIP interviews also, because I remember two questions exactly asked, and I gave the same exact answer. So they asked me, why do I want to do an MBA? Why did I switch my companies? And I gave the exact same answer, and they worked because I converted that. So that's something that you've built for us for a very long time, and we'll probably use it in the future also if needed. But even if we don't use the same exact answers, we now know how to build it on our own.
Hmm.
So that is sort of a life skill that we all need, and especially in the corporate world.
That's great to hear, right? You've actually kind of made my day and like made me super happy that like this is something that we can do, and also I can add this as a marketing pitch now to other students. That's
Absolutely.
something that I can do, right? Thank you so much, the two of you. It's great having you here today. We will connect in the future as well. Wish you just a quick correction for everyone. The summer placements I was talking about, not PPOs before. So it'll be great to connect with you. I think post your some experience with your summer internships, and then next year as well, once you're done with your final placement. So we'll have an overall wrap of your MBAs as well. That how did the 2 years go by? So look forward to connecting with you guys again and having you here again. One small little thing that we forgot to mention is that the two of you are basically you've become good friends, right? Essentially, because of
Yeah,
the fact that
we're best friends.
yeah, best friends, and you were like you kind of got introduced online in our course. You were in two different cities, right, at the time of preparation. So you got
Yes, she
connected
was
in
in
the
Delhi, I was in Bangalore, and I remember you had this
Group interview for
group of just
SPJ.
both of us,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
and we
yeah,
were actually kind of in a conflict over that call.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when we both could like got to know that we both converted K, and we were very excited. We also
Yeah,
decided that we'll meet each other
yeah, yeah,
in the campus. We were also shocked to see that we are also in the
Same
same
section,
section,
yeah.
and the
yeah,
roll numbers are also like I and my roll number is 35, her roll number is 37. So
yeah.
we literally
Close
sit on
by.
the same bench. So
Yeah,
it's
same bench, same project. So that's like yeah,
yeah.
so great. That's great, right? So great to know that a couple of us. That's by coincidence, pure coincidence. I don't think so. We've had this previously where people have ended up in the same classroom, right? So unlike other huge coaching institutes who have thousands of students who actually don't know each other,
Yes.
but we've got a limited set, right? Great guys, great to connect with you, and thank you so much for sparing your time today. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.